You have disappointed me, Edelgard. To think that a descendant of House Hresmelk would dare betray the Holy Church.
So, it is my teacher who stands in my way. I always knew it would come to this.
Professor, kill Edelgard at once. She is a danger to all of Fodlan. Such a rebellious heart cannot be allowed to keep beating. You! How dare you!
My teacher, Thank you. But are you certain that... No. Now isn't the time for discussion.
Words cannot properly express my gratitude, Professor.
So, this is the choice you have made. You are just another failure. Your presence soils this holy tomb and disgraces my brethren. I will not allow one who would lend our enemies strength to wield the power of the goddess Sothis. I have passed judgment, and now I shall rip your chest open and take back your heart myself!
That must be the Immaculate One.
Yes. The monsters that have controlled Fodlan in secret for far too long. Rhea is their leader.
There's no time to waste. Your Majesty, Professor, we must escape while we can.
Part 1. White Clouds. Lone Moon. Outset of a power struggle. Together, the people of Fodlan relish the beauty of the brilliant moon overhead as another year ends. They recall sad partings and new acquaintances alike, but each person must still walk their chosen path alone. With each day, the presence of spring grows stronger, and yet a lone moon still haunts the sky, a silent reminder, perhaps, of some inescapable truth.
We somehow managed to escape.
This is one of the Imperial Army's provisional camps. Here we can organize our forces.
Before we go any further, I want all of you to really ask yourselves if you're certain you wish to join us. As expected, Flane has chosen to leave our ranks.
When I saw our professor running off, I ran about as fast as I could to catch up.
Caspar, death finds those who run without thinking. You gave no thought to the war fog. My grandfather was the leader of Brigid, and I hope for us to be allies with the Empire. I will be staying.
Was this a good idea? Did I make the right choice? Oh, but my family is part of the Empire, and our professor is here.
You're fine here with us, Bernie. Though it's true certain houses were against the Imperial Princess.
I assume you're referring to my family. I must believe that the conclusion I came to was the correct one. You are the Emperor now. I am the only one left who is qualified to guide you at this point.
I'm only here because I know it would be troublesome to stand against you.
I'm not just here for you, Adi. I'm here to follow our dear professor. Of course, I don't have any territory to offer, so Hubie may not even want me here.
The greater our numbers, the better. Your reasons for being here are of no consequence.
I think I understand where you're coming from. But now, I wish to hear of your resolve. Like you, I have risen to meet my destiny. I cut this path, and I will see it through to the end. Following me is akin to pointing a sword at the goddess herself. One misstep, and we fall to our ruin. You have now witnessed the Archbishop's true self. She is a cruel beast. Those who rule this world use that beast's power to fabricate miracles, all to control those who blindly believe in the goddess. They conceal the truth and force their lies on the nobility. They mercilessly annihilate anyone who defies them. I know this because I have lived it. After what you have seen, is there any room for doubt? The Church of Seiros has great influence and power. Their control over the lords of the kingdom and the Alliance is nearly absolute. We are the only ones who can stop this indomitable enemy that has plagued our world for ages. We fight for humanity, for all of Fodlan. If you dare walk this path with me, take your first step. It's now or never. Thank you, my friends. We are the true face of the Empire, and we will triumph!
That was incredible, Lady Edelgard.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm relieved. They really chose to follow me. I was resolved to move forward alone if I had to. But in my heart, I hoped it wouldn't come to that.
So long as I am here, you will never be alone. Please do not forget that. And it would seem that the Professor also has a key role to play in this.
You're right. Now, I must speak with our dear teacher. Please, make preparations. The messenger should be here shortly.
Consider it done.
Professor, may I speak with you? I appreciate it. I'm just anxious. It feels like the weight of this burden is crushing me. At this very moment, on my orders, I'm starting a war. An army far larger than the one that attacked the Holy Tomb last month will soon be locked in battle. Long-devised strategies are unfolding across Fodlan. Leaders are deciding their loyalties and preparing to fight. So many generals and soldiers will die. It's inevitable that civilians will get caught up in the chaos as well. There will be countless casualties. With a single command, the flames of war will rage across all corners of this realm. And I am the one who is giving the order. Yes, it is. There is no turning back. No matter how much blood flows at my feet, I will not relent. We must break the bonds that the depraved church has placed on Fodlan. These sacrifices will allow us to create a future where we never need sacrifice again. It may seem contradictory, but it's the only way. Listen to me. I made up my mind long ago. Yet here I am, seeking your approval. Tell me the truth, my teacher. Are you happy with your decision to stay by my side? Unlike me, you can still walk away from all of this. This path leads to the death of the Archbishop and the servants of the Church. Can you live with that? I never thought... I'm sorry, it was a foolish question. I believe in you, Professor. And you believed in me. With that knowledge, I have the strength to keep fighting. Let's go. There's something I need to say to Hubert.
Your Majesty, the latest report indicates that our main army is advancing as planned. Also, the preparations for your manifesto are almost complete.
We will be distributing our manifesto to every lord within Fodlan. We will expose the dark side of the Church of Seros, and the foul practices of the nobles from the Kingdom and the Alliance. We will force the people of Fodlan to open their eyes to the truth, and relinquish any remaining conviction to unite against the Empire. Certain nobles have already offered us their support.
Yes, there are other nobles who oppose the Church. We will condemn those who deserve condemnation, and forgive those who deserve forgiveness. We have already purged some of the Imperial nobles who are morally rotten, my father among them. How unfortunate.
And soon we will invade and conquer Garreg Mach. Our main army has already departed the Imperial capital. They will arrive at the monastery in 2 weeks' time. There, we will join forces with them. As for us, I'd like your opinion on how we should be positioned within the army.
Your Majesty intends to fight alongside the Professor, correct? In that case, you will not be incorporated into the Empire's main army. Your squad can move freely about the battlefield under supervision of the Imperial forces. That would be most prudent.
Now that I'm the Emperor, we can't let it slip that I'm following your command in battle, Professor.
I fully object to the notion of you fighting on the front lines.
Hubert, we've already discussed this.
My apologies. I overstepped.
Now that the details are settled, all that's left is to come up with a name for ourselves. In honor of our time at the Academy, how about we call ourselves the Black Eagle Strike Force? With you as our leader, I'm confident we will. To me, that name represents us soaring toward a new dawn, as freely as an eagle. I'll leave it to you to prepare the Black Eagle Strike Force for departure. I'm so sick of it all. There is so much to be done, yet all I encounter are new problems and pitfalls. Sometimes I wish I could spend just one day doing absolutely nothing and gorging myself on sweets. Do you mean it? Just the thought makes me happy. But Hubert would never allow it. Indeed. It may not be possible now, but one day we will know the joys of idling. Mark my words. Is that a smirk I spy? Is it so amusing to you, me daydreaming of free time? Your silly grin says otherwise. But let's put all that aside for now. There is something I've been meaning to tell you. I'm afraid this might sound a bit sentimental. However, I want to thank you. Because of you, I feel I can walk my fated path without losing myself. If I were alone, I might have lost perspective and become a harsh leader with a heart of ice. But I'm not alone. With you by my side, I'm somehow free to be not only a leader, but simply Edelgard. Until now, no one has been able to surpass me, much less command me. I have always been seen as an untouchable princess or emperor. No one spoke to me as an equal or met my gaze without flinching. It was lonely, terribly lonely. The only person I could rely on as I tried to claw my way out of the darkness was myself. But you have been a brilliant light. Somehow you have chased the darkness away. And for that, I will always be grateful. We've come such a long way. After all, I was only 4 years old when we first met.
From your perfect memory, Lady Edelgard, I expect nothing short of the utmost precision. Do go on.
Please don't mock me with such frivolous praise. I can hardly recall that day.
Forgive me. I suppose I must have been 6 at the time. I have no recollection of it. My earliest memory of you is of when you were injured. I recall being scolded most sternly by my father. "You are Lady Edelgard's servant," he said. "You must protect her with your life."
I had no idea. But House Vestra has served House Hresvelg for generations. Given that, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Indeed. After that, I made certain to accompany you wherever you went. That is, until the incident.
Ah, when my uncle, Lord Arundel, defected to the kingdom and took me with him.
The sensation of loss that overcame me on that day defies all description. It was as horrific as if I'd lost all my limbs. I left the city in a mad rush to rescue you. My father sent soldiers to capture me. I fought them off for 3 days, but they did finally manage it. Of course, I was only 10. I never would have reached Ferdiad.
I've never heard that story before. So there are things you've never told me.
It wasn't important.
That's beside the point. I wish to know these things. If there's anything else you're keeping from me, please tell me at once.
Respectfully, I decline.
Why? It's a simple order. I really must know.
Speaking of your orders, there was a task you gave me earlier which I have yet to carry out. Excuse me.
Wait just a moment. I just hope he's not hiding anything too worrisome.
Linhardt, I have been waiting for much time. Please, watch me.
Watch what, Petra? Whoa! Hey, careful with that spear!
How did you find that? I did more training.
Ah, you took my advice then. I will say, the problematic maneuver seems improved at least.
At least? It is still no good?
The spear isn't really my area of expertise, but I've seen enough training to understand the mechanics. I believe I can use that understanding to further help you improve your spear work.
My spear work.
Right. As I said, when you lift up and stab down, the momentum is ruined. You're trying to swing like a giant. You're not a giant, so that's a problem. So allow the spear's own momentum to do more of the hard work for you.
Spear momentum.
The spear is heavy. When you lift it up high, loosen your grip a little.
At the top of my swing, loosen my grip. And then the weight will carry it down?
Precisely. When you put too much power into it, not only do you exhaust your grip, you tire yourself out. Got it? All that effort is taking its toll on me.
You are very clever. I wonder why you have hatred for training.
Because training is too much like fighting, and I'd really rather not fight. Also, I find training terribly dull. Anyway, good night.
He does not use his cleverness. It is a very big waste. I want you to use your power, Linhart.
Hello, Byrne.
Oh no! What did I do this time? Did I offend you? Is this your revenge?
No, not at all. I just want to talk.
If you promise not to resort to violence, I'll do whatever you want.
Byrne, I've just been worried about you, that's all. When I said I was your friend, you ran away, saying something about your father. Remember?
Vaguely?
I know you've lived through some bad times. If you could tell me about it, maybe I could help?
Oh, I don't know.
Please. Your father's not here now. Whatever it is, you're safe to tell me.
All right. My parents told me never to befriend a commoner. They said commoners are scum, and that they'd crush any that tried to come near me.
Hang on, scum? They called me... commoners. They called us scum?
Yeah, but once, a long time ago, I did secretly make friends with one. A boy. When my father found out about him, he disappeared the very next day. I heard he was found beaten half to death. I never saw him again. Since then, I've been terrified of making friends with anyone, commoners especially.
I never knew that kind of thing really happened. You hear stories, sure, but... Oh, Byrne, I'm so sorry. I'm proud to be your commoner friend.
Dorothea!
Hey now, relax. There's nothing to bawl about. If your dad tried to beat me up, I'd return the favor and then some.
Return the favor?
When I was in the opera, you better believe I had run-ins with the most wicked, terrible men. I survived kidnappings, attempted murders, all kinds of stuff. But you know what? I broke those guys' arms. Snap! It was a thank you for all the trouble they went through trying to hurt me.
You're incredible, Dorothea.
So, now that you know I can defend myself, can we be friends, Byrne?
All right. Yeah.
Professor. We will join forces with the main army and attack Garrick Monk. It's a fortress built on steep ground, but it's never seen battle. That means we don't know much about it from a military perspective. But if we use all of the power at our disposal, we will capture it. From a purely mathematical standpoint, we most certainly have the power to win. If the battle becomes a clash of beasts within human strength, you will be our only hope. I believe in you. I'm relying on you to lead the Black Eagle Strike Force to victory.
It is not up to Her Majesty to bring the students to our cause. That task falls to you. You are uniquely able to provide emotional support. Please use that gift to guide others down the path that Lady Edelgard has laid before us. I ask you to do this from the bottom of my heart.
The most important nobles in the Empire are known for taking power from the previous emperor, my father included. I didn't think it possible that the Imperial Princess could ascend the throne so easily. However, it seems that both my father and Caspar's are supporting Edelgard. Having both the Minister of Domestic Affairs and Minister of Military Affairs on your side gives you total control over the Empire's military and finances. You must have been making preparations for quite some time without anyone noticing.
That could have gotten dangerous fast. If I stayed at the monastery, I would have had to fight my father. We aren't especially close, but he's not an opponent I'd want to face. I'd almost rather fight a monster. Anyway, it looks like he's going to be leading the Western units. I wonder if we'll wind up fighting the Kingdom's army, and who decided to fight for the Church.
Edelgard became emperor and raised an army, huh? Who knew the kid had it in her? I mean, yeah, of course, I knew she'd be emperor eventually, but the more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win. Thinking about it makes me scared. We're fighting the Knights of Saros. Still, I know you'll figure something out.
The Empire and Bridget were once warring with each other. But now, I have made the decision to be fighting with the Empire. It is a choice of irony, I feel. But I am having no regrets. My belief is with you, and with Edelgard.
Come on. I don't even get my own room here. At least I had that at home. But speaking of home, Hubert told me something. He said my father was stripped of his title. I guess he did as he pleased and opposed Edelgard. Wait, does that mean my father's going to be home all the time now? On second thought, I think I'm fine right here.
Oh. Yes. Ah, yes. A moment, please.
I believe that this is the first time we have met. My name is Ladislava. I have the great honor of leading Lady Edelgard's personal guard. Her Majesty is as hard on others as she is on herself. She may seem composed, but that is only because she conceals her more passionate emotions. For that reason, she is often misunderstood. But now she has you by her side. I find that most reassuring. I look forward to working with you.
I'm Randolph von Berglies. I'm not very high in the ranks yet, but I'm more or less a general. Just like Caspar, I'm from House Berglies. My mother married into House Berglies after I was born, so my position within the family is rather lowly. But I'm determined to make something of myself in this battle to bring glory to my part of the family, for the sake of my mother and sister.
Right.
That's right. Teacher, I asked Edelgard what happened to my father. He was dismissed as Prime Minister and is under house arrest in the Imperial capital. He always was a greedy, arrogant man. Some would say that this is the fate he deserves. And yet I cannot help but feel indignant. After all his hard work for the Empire, to be disgraced like this. I am conflicted, Professor. I do not know what to do. As the next Duke Eyre, should I follow Edelgard into battle?
What the?
Interesting.
Yes.
Right, right.
What do you require? Farewell.
Welcome. Please come again.
Hey there. Is this it? There you go. Come back anytime.